So now, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I hope you did enjoy your beautiful lunch, and I would like to start the afternoon session from now on. So first of all, before we start the session, we have something very special waiting for us today. Though this distinguished person was not able to make it here in person, but he just shared with us the special remarks via video clip. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mr. Perry Warjiyo from Bank Indonesia. Let us look at the video clip.
My dear friend, Vice Minister of Economic and Finance, Republic of Korea, President, Korea for Development Institute, distinguished speaker, G20 delegates, colleagues from ministries, central banks, government, and financial institutions, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to deliver this special remark at this very important seminar, which is Global Financial Stability Conference. Let me start by thanking Ministry of Economic and Finance as well as Korea Development Institute that invite me to deliver this remark. This is indeed is very important seminar at this very unprecedented time where global every of us facing very high inflation stemming from global supply chain disruption coming from the war in Ukraine. Global economy are on the downturn. Some country facing risk of stagflation, even recession. Global interest rates are rising, accelerated at the very fast pace, especially in the US as well as in Europe. This is a challenging for us. How best we formulate the policy to maintain the stability, but at the same time also supporting the economic growth. Let me just cite the five following points that also being implemented in Indonesia and hope that will also be useful for other country. One, on the interest rate policy response. We have to understand where is the inflation coming from. Some country facing high rise inflation both because from the supply shock as well as demand increase. This is where actually aggressive interest rate needed. But other countries, many of them in emerging countries, especially also in Indonesia, our inflation pressure mostly coming from global spillover of high energy and food prices from the war in Ukraine and supply disruption. So we have to be careful in addressing, responding on interest rate policy. In our view, more gradual interest rate policy are more proper to mitigate the risk of rising inflation expectation while at the same time not mitigating, not dampening the risk of slowing down growth. That's number one on the interest rate policy response. Second, on the need for the stabilization of the exchange rate through the intervention. This is important so that the exchange rate depreciation do not giving more high risk to the inflation, the imported inflation. Of course, we have to do on the FX intervention, not of course dampening the works on the market mechanism. We need to do the foreign exchange intervention to ensure the stability of the exchange rate so that mitigating the imported inflation according to market mechanism to dampen the volatility of the exchange rate. Number three, we have to also coordinate with the government on the fiscal side. Some countries, including Indonesia, have the fiscal space, not mitigating the risk of normalization of fiscal sustainability, but also have fiscal space to give more subsidy, especially for the needy, so that the impact of high rise in energy and food have more balance or more lower impact to the energy and food prices on the CPI. I think this is very important, giving subsidy to those needed. In that case, the risk of inflation is not as high in other countries where the fiscal space is limited. Indonesia, we work closely, fiscal and monetary policy coordinated, the fiscal policy giving subsidy so that our inflation last month is 4.6%, probably rising to 5.5%, but still the core inflation is very low, still 3%. So that last month we responding, of course, 25 basis point, and of course we are ready to increase our interest rate. But we are understand that our response of interest rate is not as aggressive in other country where fiscal space is limited. Number four, which is the need for macroprudential policy, so that the risk of inflation, interest rate increase, exchange rate do not transmit to the financial stability. More accommodative macroprudential is needed through loan to value ratio or other aspect of instrument, so that the lending of the bank and financial system to the real sector still continue while also mitigating the risk of systemic to the financial stability. Indonesia, we continue relax our macroprudential, giving some incentive so the bank continue to give a lending. Our lending now growing by 10.2%. Even SME lending growing by 18% with the coordination of course, macroprudential and financial system stability. And five, the adequacy of foreign exchange reserve is needed to ensure the stability of exchange rate, to ensure, of course, the well financing foreign exchange market, as well as also to ensure the external stability. At this juncture, the need of the international coordination on the global financial stability net is important. The role of IMF is called for to ensure giving enough financing or lending or facility to ensure, especially emerging and developing countries have more capability to withstand this unprecedented global situation, which is giving rise to high inflation and slowing down economic growth. This is the five lessons that we do in Indonesia. So we are positive in our Indonesia economic prospect. We are expecting our economic growth last quarter is 5.4%. This quarter will be more than 5.5%. We continue supporting our economic growth. Our inflation, yes, higher than our targeted level, 3% plus minus 1%, but still comparably low than other country. We are expecting our inflation somewhere about 5.5%, but still okay. Our exchange rate is depreciated, the lowest among the emerging country, depreciating about 4%, while our financial stability continue to be sound with high capital adequacy ratio, lending continue to be growing, and of course, our economic recovery continue. With that, this five lesson that we experience in Indonesia, hope that give some more reference to other country. Let me once again thanks for this occasion and hope this seminar give more input, more reference in the way we coordinate and responding to this unprecedented global economic and financial condition. With that, I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Perry Warjiyo, for your remarkable speech and for not forgetting to send us a message for us. Thank you very much once again.